Tension-passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals staggering for years to come. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the league chatter lately, there's a buzz that's hard to ignore. Rumors are swirling around the AFC North about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the division. And it involves none other than Chris Jones, the disruptive force from the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, you heard that right. The Steelers could be on the verge of pulling off a move that might seem out of the box, but if it happens, it could have profound implications for how Pittsburgh approaches the rest of their season and their future. So what's the story? Well, according to sources, the Chiefs, sitting at 6-5 and with a pretty tight cap situation, only about $8 million in cap space, are considering trading Chris Jones before the November 4th deadline. The idea is to free up some salary cap room, especially with the looming extension for Patrick Mahomes and the need to bolster their offensive line and wide receivers, which the Chiefs have been struggling with all season. The intriguing part, the Chiefs are reportedly open to trading Jones in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. This potential move is reminiscent of the Rams trading Aaron Donald in 2020, where a dominant interior lineman changed the entire defensive narrative. For the Steelers, this isn't just about acquiring a star. It's about upgrading their interior defensive line, an area that's been a bit of a roller coaster lately, especially with injuries and inconsistency. Chris Jones, drafted in 2016, is an all-pro caliber player with a career tally of 78 sacks, over 450 tackles, and 12 forced fumbles. His PFF grade hovers around 92.1, and he's a disruptive presence on every snap. When he's in the game, he commands double teams at a rate of 65%, which opens up opportunities for others. His EPA per target stands at 0.28, and his win rate is at 22%, making him one of the most impactful interior linemen in the league. In the 2025 season, Jones has been steady, with 8 solo tackles, 8 assists, and 3 sacks, numbers that show he's still performing at a high level. His PFF grade for this year is a solid 88.7, and he's been particularly effective against the run, with a run-stop percentage of 35%. Notably, he hasn't had any serious injuries, which makes him an even more attractive target. His presence would be a game-changer for the Steelers' defense, especially considering how their interior line has been tested this season. Pittsburgh's defense has been solid but could use that extra push inside to become truly elite. Now, why would the Chiefs consider parting ways with Jones? Well, cap space is a big factor. With just around $8 million available, Kansas City needs to make some room, especially with Mahomes' upcoming extension. Plus, they're looking to develop their youth on the roster, guys like George Karlaftis and others. While losing Jones would be a hit, the Chiefs might see this as a strategic move to bolster other areas that could help them push for another Super Bowl run, especially with the roster they have. From the Steelers' perspective, acquiring Jones could be a seismic shift. Imagine him lining up next to Cameron Hayward, the veteran leader who's been anchoring their line for years. Jones could potentially project around 15 sacks if he's paired with the right scheme and health. That would be a significant boost, especially since Pittsburgh's interior has been a bit inconsistent at times. The synergy between Hayward and Jones could create a nightmare for quarterbacks, especially in critical third-down situations. Their combined pressure rate could jump by 18%, making it even tougher for offenses to sustain drives. This move could also help the Steelers improve their overall points allowed per game. Currently sitting at around 23.9 points per contest, the addition of a player of Jones's caliber could bring that number down to roughly 19 points a game. It's a significant improvement that could be the difference between fighting for a wild-card spot or securing a solid playoff position. Plus, the Steelers' run defense would get a serious upgrade. Right now, their run defense is giving up about 4 yards per carry, not terrible. But with Jones in the middle, that could be pushed down to closer to 3.5 or even below. His presence would clog lanes and make life miserable for blockers trying to open up space for the opposition's rushing game. Looking at the matchup perspective, Jones versus a typical interior lineman like Keanu Neal or DeMarvin Leal becomes even more compelling. His pressure per game would likely increase from the current +2.5 to around +5 pressures, and his run stops could see a boost of +1.5 per game. This would also relieve some pressure off the outside linebackers and edge rushers, allowing them to focus more on their assignments without constantly doubling inside. The result? A more balanced, aggressive defense that can attack the quarterback more frequently and effectively. And let's talk about the bigger picture, the Steelers' chances at a deep playoff run and even competing for that elusive Super Bowl LXI. A move like this, if successful, could boost their odds significantly. Right now, sportsbooks have Pittsburgh Super Bowl odds around +1,200, but with a player like Jones in the fold, those odds could improve to +650 or even better. That's a massive leap, and it puts the Steelers right in the conversation with the league's top contenders. Think about it, a defense with Hayward and Jones anchoring the middle, combined with a solid offense led by Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris, creates a matchup nightmare for any team. This isn't just about one player, though. It's about signaling that the Steelers are serious about competing for championships now and in the future. Drafting well, developing young talent, and making bold moves like this could turn Pittsburgh into a powerhouse once again. The AFC North is no longer just about the Ravens and Bengals. The Steelers are positioning themselves as a team that can dominate inside and out, controlling the game from the trenches. Of course, there are skeptics. Some might argue that trading a second-round pick for a player in his prime, with some injury concerns and cap considerations, could backfire. But if you look at the big picture, adding a disruptor like Chris Jones could be the difference-maker that pushes Pittsburgh over the top. It's about making a statement that the Steelers are all in on contention and willing to make sacrifices to bring that elusive Lombardi trophy home again. The division, the AFC landscape, all of it could shift dramatically if this move materializes. In the end, it's all about the fans' hopes and dreams. We've seen Pittsburgh build legendary defenses before, and adding a player of Jones's caliber could rekindle that same defensive dominance. Imagine a Steelers defense that's top 5 in the league, constantly pressuring quarterbacks, stuffing the run, and creating turnovers. That's the kind of identity that wins championships. And with the right coaching staff, particularly Mike Tomlin's leadership, that potential becomes even more real. So what's next? Well, we'll be watching the trade deadline closely. The Steelers are rumored to be exploring ways to bolster their front seven, and if this deal with Kansas City goes through, it could set a new tone for the franchise. Pittsburgh fans have waited long enough for a deep playoff push and a shot at the Lombardi. Maybe, just maybe, this could be the move that kicks off a new era of Steelers greatness, one where the defense strikes fear into every opponent, and the team as a whole reestablishes itself as a perennial Super Bowl contender. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think acquiring Chris Jones would put Pittsburgh over the top? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in black and gold, wreaking havoc inside? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers organization. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Steelers news. We're on the cusp of what could be a defining moment for our beloved team, and your passion and voice make all the difference. Let's keep that Steelers pride alive, and let's hope we see big moves that bring us closer to another Super Bowl victory. Keep the faith, and as always, keep rooting for the Steel City.